Hello, YouTube. I've just seen Gran Turismo, and I'm not driving my car, contradictory to having just seen a film about racing driving. So, Gran Turismo, new film by Neil Blomkamp, true story, and also based on the Gran Turismo PlayStation video game about a young guy who is so good at playing the Gran Turismo video game, he wins a competition to become an actual driver. Sound exciting? Have a little bit of a look for the trailer. What I should have said is have a little bit of a look at the trailer.
Who do you think the best driver is?
Probably Rory.
I would dust him in a lap.
Jan, all you do is play video games with some crazy dreams of racing cars.
Dad, you're the one that told us to always do something we love.
You know what racing cars cost? Look around. It's not our world, son.
So that's the trailer, and that's the trailer. When I first saw it, I thought this is fucking shite. It looked really crap. Performances looked really wooden, really generic, like a lot of stuff I've seen before. Had a slight youth feel to it, like it's a little bit cringy as well. And I thought, no, I was out. I wasn't interested based on the trailer. However, and I think prior to seeing the trailer, I knew about the project. Because Neil Blomkamp was directing it. Neil Blomkamp, who people might remember, made District 9 a few years ago, and Elysium after that, and is mostly known really as a sci-fi kind of guy. So him doing a video game racing film sort of seemed like quite an interesting dynamic, and that piqued my curiosity. But then when the trailer came out, like I said, was not interested, and I was probably going to avoid going to see it. But then started hearing kind of lots of reviews saying, "Oh, it's actually better than it needs to be," and that sort of made me think, well, maybe it is a bad trailer, because there are certainly great films that have bad trailers. So I thought, well, let's give it a go. And in short, what am I going to say about it? So keep in mind that I've just seen it. In short, I think I'm going to say I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Am I going to remember it in a week's time? I don't know. That's still up for debate. So I think real quick summary is I would say it's definitely worth a trip out to see if there's nothing else on that you want to see. But whether it's a great film, no, not really. And I think my justifications for that are why I enjoyed it is it's kind of like it's just a sports film. It's got the thing of an underdog going for the win, right? We've seen that loads and loads of times before, and this is exactly that. It's something you've seen loads of times before. Dave Harbour from Stranger Things, who I haven't really seen that much of Stranger Things, but what I've seen of it, I quite like Dave Harbour. And this, he's really great as well, but he's sort of playing a similar character. He's playing a gruff but ultimately good-natured parental sort of figure or guardian figure. And then this is good. But the story is things that you've seen before. It's an underdog going for the title, and spoilers, despite adversity, they get the win. This probably has some, nuances to it that are slightly fresh because it is based on the video game. It is about someone who's completely outside of the sporting world coming into it. So you've got a real fish out of water element to it as well. And this being based on a video game, they use a little bit of the aesthetics from the game, which I think if it weren't associated to a video game and you use those mechanics like, that's my security light going off. If that means zombies may approach and something may pop out there and scare the shit out of us, I'll open the door and get that. That didn't work. So I would say, that's really off target. So I would say, it's fairly generic. But it works. It works well. It works like clockwork. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I would probably say, I'm going to say about everything, could deal with like 15 minutes coming out of it, but it didn't feel like a slog. It hits all the beats that you want it to hit, and it hits them well. Like I said, Dave Harbour in it, I kind of like him, and he is good in this, despite him sort of probably playing a character that he's played before and may likely play again. The young lad in it, whose name I don't know, and I didn't recognise him, he's all right in it. I don't know whether he's going to make massive waves. He wasn't someone who was like a huge revelation of, I want to see that guy more stuff. He wasn't quite like that, but he certainly wasn't that bad. Orlando Bloom is probably the other name in this that people will recognise. And Orlando Bloom's character is basically, he works for Nissan. So, yeah, Orlando Bloom plays kind of like the marketing guy for Nissan. He's a bit of a slimeball, kind of sleazy character, but he's not really a bad guy in the film. He's just a bit of a sleazy corporate person. And Orlando Bloom, if you think about his career, he was in 2 massive franchises, Lord of the Rings and then Pirates of the Caribbean, and hasn't really done much since. And there's a reason for that, and he's not very good. And this is a real example of him being the co-lead in something, and he is not very good at all. Actually, that's unfair when I say a co-lead. He's not. He's probably like a supporting actor, as opposed to Dave Harbour and the young lad in the lead. They are really 2 co-leads in this. So yeah, Orlando Bloom is not good in this, and I don't really feel that bad for him because he married Katy Perry, so I think he's doing all right. He's certainly doing better than me, sat outside, potentially with zombies about to approach outside my car. Yeah, what else to really say? So yes, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. What else to say? Obviously the driving stuff in it and the sound design around the driving is great. I think overall, though, in terms of the way that it's shot and the cinematography, it does have quite a digital kind of feel to it. It's not like, and a film probably a comparison to make it with from a couple of years ago is Ford versus Ferrari, which again is a racing film. It's an underdog story. And also the both Gran Turismo and Ford versus Ferrari end at the Le Mans 24-hour race. Ford versus Ferrari is a very kind of beautifully cinematically shot film. Despite all of the racing, if you take that out, it's still a beautiful looking film. Gran Turismo, while the racing and stuff is exciting, and they use drones and they put cameras in lots of positions, and they're driving for real. Ignoring all that stuff, the general people talking is fairly digital and not that interesting. Not interesting looking. It looks fairly cheap, and probably the budget for this, was not. I mean, it was obviously bigger than your average indie, but it's probably maybe a lower budget film than something like Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah, sound design in this is great. I've probably said that before. Yeah, will this live up to repeat viewings, and will I remember it in a week's time? I don't know. I think the answer is no. I think if I watch this again at home, I will have less fun watching it than I did sort of on the big screen with a great sound system. And will I remember it? Will I remember it? No, I don't think I really will remember it much about it, other than, oh yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, and it been a bit of a tick again for like Dave Harbour been someone who we should see more of, and is really likable. Yeah. So in short, always go out and see things theatrically, big screen. Gran Turismo is not going to be a waste of your time. Whether it's going to be your next favourite film, it probably even isn't going to be your next favourite racing film. I'd still think Ford versus Ferrari is a great movie, but it's not bad, and it's somewhat worth your time. So yeah, that's my kind of ramblings from having seen it. Let me know in the comments if you've seen it and what your thoughts are, and give the page a like and a subscribe. I feel like that's the standard thing you always end YouTube videos with: like and subscribe. Leave comments if you saw it, or any other kind of titles that are coming out that you feel like I should cover. And I'm also desperate to keep these videos under 10 minutes, because the last one was nearly 20 minutes, and I'm going to keep them short. So yeah, that's it. What else to say other than my teeth look fucking really, there's like one tooth that the light is really shining on, and is distracting for me. and I'm sure it is for you. So yeah, that's it. Gran Turismo in UK cinemas now, and I think coming out in the US in about a week's time. So if you're in the US, why not like and subscribe this video? I've said that twice now. That's it. That's my limit. Goodbye.